All right, Geometry 2-1, angles and congruence. So we are going to identify angles. We're going to do a number of things. This is an introductory lesson on angles, and we're going to talk about a lot of vocabulary. So the first thing you need to know is that this symbol here, that is your angle symbol. All right, so every time you have an angle, it says name all the angles that have D as the vertex. You have an angle. When it says D is the vertex, that means it is the point. All right, the point of your angle, that is your vertex. All right, so all of our angles that have D as a vertex. It's a lot of them. So the ones that are missing are angle GDH, angle CDH, and angle FDH. So angle FDH. There was a number of them that were missing. So it wants us to name the sides of angle 2. All right, angle 2. So it doesn't matter if you use the letter or the number. When you are given just one, either a letter or a number, it's talking about the vertex of the angle. So what makes up angle 2? Well, it is two rays. Angles are made up of rays. The ray starts at a point and goes on forever. That's what the arrow means. So when you name rays, you start with a point. Here's your sign that goes above the letter. So it's ray B, A. It's also, the other side is ray B, G. Because the ray goes on forever, you pick the point furthest along the ray that you are given to name it. So this is ray B, G. Now it wants us to name an interior point, a point in the interior of angle FDE. Okay, FDE. Now here's my angle. The interior is anything on the inside of the angle. Well, that would be point A. Now it says name all the points on the exterior FDE. FDE. All right, so if this is my angle, the exterior would be everything not inside. So I have points C, H, and G that are not inside my angle. So those are some more in vocabulary words. You got your interior of your angle and your exterior of your angle. Oh, and don't forget vertex. Congruent angles and angle bisectors. All right. If you bisect something, you cut it in half. Okay, and you get two equal parts. Hence the word bi. All right. So it's telling you in the figure, ray BA and BC are opposite rays. That's telling you that this makes a straight line. Okay. And ray BD bisects angle ABE and angle DBE. So that means this line here cuts this larger angle in half. So the measure of angle ABD equals the measure of DBE. Okay, they are equal to each other. Now let me see what else does it give me. It gives me the measure of angle ABD is 4x plus 14. So I'm going to label that 4x plus 14. Okay, and then it goes on and it says angle DBE measures this, 8x minus 32. So DBE, well, that measures 8x minus 32. Okay, so that's the measure of this angle. We have the measure of this angle. All right, and what does it want? We can solve for this in two steps. First, solve for x, then find the measure of DBE. All right, so what are we looking for? We are looking for this measure right here. That's what we're looking for, the measure of DBE. All right. Well, because this right bisects this larger angle, these two parts equal each other. That's what this congruence symbol means. A lot of people ask me about this symbol in our test in Unit 1. That means congruence. That means that these two different things, but they measure the exact same, so we can set them equal to each other because they are equal. All right, so let's do that. We have 4x plus 14. I want to set it equal to the measure of this angle, 8x minus 32. We've set up an equation, okay? Now I don't have anything to distribute, no like terms to combine on the left. I have nothing to distribute, no like terms on the right. So I could attack this multiple different ways, but I am going to be systematic throughout. And so what I always do is I circle all of my terms with the variable x. I say my loser is the lowest one and it has to move mathematically. Well, 4x is less than 8x, so it's going to move mathematically, so minus 4x minus 4x. Those cancel, bring down your 14. That equals 4x minus 32. Now I ran out of space, so I'm going to rewrite that over here. 14 equals 4x minus 32. Now I'm trying to isolate my x, so my next step, I'm going to add 32 to both sides. Those cancel, you bring down your 4x, and that equals 46. Last step, divide by 4, and x equals, well, 46 divided by 4, that's 11 and a half. Okay, so we solved for x, cool. But is that what it asked for? No. We need to now use x to solve for the measure of angle DBE, because that is what it actually asked for. Find the measure of angle DBE. That's what we're looking for. Okay? So now we're going to use x. All right, we're going to put it right back in. So DBE. So I've got 8 times that value of x. All right, then minus 32. All right, and this is the measure of angle DBA. Oh, no, DBE, sorry. DBE. There we go. That's what we're looking for, DBE. That's why I always double check. All right. Now we just type this in our calculator, and you'll find out that's 92 minus 32, and that equals 60 degrees, and that is your measure of angle DBE. Now we always have a summary at the bottom, so when you're done with the notes, you can go ahead and summarize them. What is the big topic? What did you learn? I know I do summaries a little differently than some of your other classes, but that's okay. I really just want you to think about the notes and think about what you have learned and process it. Now on the back, we have got vertical angles and angle pairs. All right, we have some more vocabulary we're going to talk about. All right. And when I deal with angles, I deal with color if you can't tell, and I also like colored highlighters, okay? Now, some of these are going to overlap, so it may get a little messy, but follow along, which is why I do it in colors. So we have this office lamp here, and it is made using 2 intersecting metal bars. All right, we have 2 intersecting, they cross. How many pairs of adjacent angles do you see? All right, there's a vocabulary word right there. When I see adjacent, I think of the A and I think of apartments, and apartments share a wall. So adjacent angles, those are angles that share a side wall, basically. They share a ray. One of their sides is the same. So ABE and EBC, they're adjacent because they share the ray BE. They share the side wall. All right, so we're going to list 2 pairs. There are a total of 4. Because you have these 2, that makes 1. And then this one and that makes 2. This one and this one, that makes 3. And then this angle and that angle, that makes 4. So there are 4 total as you work your way around. But just to name 2 of them, we got angle DBA and angle ABE. That's one pair. And then we also have angle ABE and angle EBC. Now you could name the other 2, doesn't matter. The biggest thing when you're naming angles is you see how B is in the middle of all of them? B is the vertex of all of your angles. So when you are naming angles, it doesn't matter which direction you start in. They're the same angle, but B always has to be in the middle. So B is always your vertex for these, all right? So anytime you are talking about and labeling angles, that vertex has to be in the middle if you're using all 3 angles. We could have also just said this one is angle B, but then that would have been confusing because they're all angle B. That's why we use all 3 letters. Now it wants to identify 2 pairs of vertical angles in the figure. Now when we're talking about angles, here's another vocabulary word, vertical angles. Vertical angles are across from each other when these 2 straight lines intersect, okay? So you have to have 2 straight lines intersecting to have vertical angles. Those are angles across from each other. And the cool thing with angles across from each other is they measure the same. They are congruent. So if this one is 138 degrees, that means this angle here is 138 degrees. So we're going to name our 2 pairs of identical angles, of vertical angles, sorry. So you've got angle DBA and angle EBC. You also have angles ABE and angle CBD. Okay, those are your vertical angles across from each other, and they measure the same. They are congruent. Now our next question is, how many linear pairs do you see in the figure? List each pair. Now linear pair, you see the word line in it? All right, so they form a straight line. If you put them together, they form a straight line. So you put them together, they form a straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they form a straight line. All right, so how many linear pairs do we have? We have 4. As you go all the way around, you have D, B, A, and A, B, E, A, B, E, and E, B, C, A, B, E, E, B, C, D, B, A, B, E. Okay, we're going all the way around. E, B, C, and C, B, D, E, B, C, C, B, D. We just keep going all the way around, okay? C, B, D, and D, B, A. All right, so those are my 4 linear pairs. You put the 2 angles together. They measure a straight line. And if you remember, the measure of a straight line is 180 degrees. They form a straight line, so together they equal 180 degrees. Now I want you to find the measure of EBC. EBC. Okay, EBC. Well, it is vertical from ABD, and if it's vertical, I told you they measure the same, so this one also measures 138 degrees. Because angle ABD equals, ABD equals the measure of angle CBE. All right, so find the measure of ABE. ABE. All right, so let's find the measure of ABE. Well, it forms a straight line with 2 different angles, so we can use either one. So ABE forms a straight line with EBC. We just found EBC. Well, they form a straight line, and a straight line measures 180 degrees. Straight line measures 180 degrees. All right, so 180 degrees. All right, so we're going to call this angle x because we don't know what it is. X plus 138 equals 180. So x plus 138 equals 180. Subtract 138 from both sides. And x equals 42 degrees. So the measure of angle ABE is 42 degrees. All right, there is an assignment out there. It's a lot of vocabulary today and identifying angles. So good luck.